So this guy, my guy. So this one is a really, really, really great, let's chat. The way you think reveals who you are. Do you agree or disagree? So this booklet right here, man, is going to give you some dope insight on how to go about just different topics and stuff to start a conversation or along the conversation to kind of reveal what type of personality this woman is in front of you, or you can be anybody, but better yet, the woman in front of you. Because, a lot of times women are great at disguising and masking that, they have a great like-minded situation within themselves or mentality and stuff like that, but you want to ask certain things to kind of spark the interest, right? So this book right here is going to give you that insight, right? And that's a little story about, why I even created it. And this is like during, after COVID, people kind of lost who they are and what they are and why they are. So there's some good things to actually boost up in that. Also, some key questions to kind of be about whenever you start to bring up these questions and even more so these statements and quotes to see kind of like, what's about to be, and just some quick things, no judgment toward anyone. Obviously, don't put out any judgment whenever you're putting out these things. Don't bring out that aura. Hate is more contagious than love. Obviously, everybody chooses negativity. So understanding throughout this era of social media, negativity is pretty programmed into to look to be more, empathetic and sympathetic, reflects your humanity. Unfortunately to say, man, the human spirit is kind of being lost. Humanity is kind of being lost. So when you do out this conversation, whenever you talk to somebody and especially a woman in regard, give off a great aura and stuff like that. And, you can go through each other book list yourself, but let's get on into like really understanding this stuff, right? So this is like a great question to ask to kind of reveal about how that person goes about thinking and how deep they are. What 2 questions would you ask to get more information about who a person truly is? And you would ask her that. And then obviously I have a mental note, just like every book that I have, I usually have a mental note to kind of give you kind of like how you want to go about the conversation. But in this one in particular, you kind of want a quiet setting, or even more so just kind of like have a setting that's not interrupted, and see how that person will respond. And they're going to give you some key things like, oh, this is the question that I would ask somebody. And then now from she giving you that intel about that, like she's like, hey, I really want to know if somebody really want to make a, create a family, so the quick question I'll be like, are you moving as such to be a family? Do you see yourself as a leader? She could probably ask some raw questions like that. You're like, okay, no, sure. Because she's going to ask you these questions. That means you got to answer these questions and even more so put it back into her as well. You know what I'm saying? So this can be a really deep question. It can low-key create a connection, but also too, it reflects you more how she's going about thinking and how she's going about moving. So that's a good question to ask. Also, this is just another dope one. Do you find intelligence or wisdom more useful? So I'm saying, so you see how these questions going to be like, yo, which one is more useful and stuff like that. So you're going to get our mind rolling. Don't forget, women are emotional creatures, and that emotion ties to the mentality of mind. So their mind's always constantly moving. So you can be a man that triggers your mind to move in a great way, an educational way, but even more so a dope-ass conversational way. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be pretty powerful, my guys. So I really want to ask these dope questions, right? Also, this is a statement. So many people can be responsible for your success, but only you are responsible for your failure. That's the deep one, and you ask how she feel on that. How do you feel about having that type of thing? What is your take on success and what is your take on failure? Do you take responsibility for yourself, or do you blame other people? You want to know that about a woman. Things popping up in her life, she blaming this and that. Look, I can't be around nobody like that. That's flawed. You lady, you got to understand, or woman, or queen, you got to understand that, ultimately you're responsible for yourself. Let's get to a point we can be created. We can be born and raised in a bad way and this like that, but we get to the age like, okay, I can't let all this trauma stuff. I need to navigate and figure this stuff out because I can't let this hinder me to where I'm trying to go. Use it as a story and a testimony versus as an anchor and keeps you down. You know what I'm saying? So this is powerful statement to ask her. Another question, when should you reveal a secret you said you wouldn't? So, you know what I'm saying? So you see how these are way deeper than the other actual booklets, because this one is really getting to the nitty gritty of who she is or who they are. And it's going to create a dope conversation. It's going to create a dope vibe of like, hey, hold on, yo, we in the middle of conversation. Hey, I got to call you back. Or like, yo, I don't like nobody interrupting what we're going through right now. This process of bubble and this intellectual in this conversation. And the thing about you asking these questions, bro, you will be different. Why would you be different? Nobody asks questions like this. That's why I created this stuff. Nobody's actually know how, not to say a blueprint on dating, but because, a lot of times in dating, guys want to know what to say, how I need to say it and stuff like that. Bro, you don't need to know how to do all that, bro. You just need to know how to have your mentality of how to carry yourself. Now you know how to carry yourself. Hey, when you go into a conversation, go into conversation with purpose of identifying who she is, or creating a conversation, or creating a connection, and all the other books that I have. You know what I'm saying? So this one in particular, it's definitely something to think about and definitely to grasp and understanding. Some good questions and statements. What's the weirdest thing you find attractive in a person? That's going to be some very insight. What is the difference between, and and you can go through the rest of the booklet yourself. Even some of these statements, love can never compete with how deep a hatred and print leaves on a person. And that's going to tie into like breakups and traumas and stuff people have done for each other. So that the real key about this one, brother, especially when you're dealing with a woman, it's going to create an emotional roller coaster. And it's going to be fun for you to see how she changes up her emotions and essence of like, wow, these are some crazy statements and crazy questions. And I love it. And you looking at her like, really? Well, we're crazy. So she's going to low-key start to become addicted to you when you start to do all these booklets and stuff. And you get all this stuff. Now, be advised. You don't want to do this stuff unless you're really trying to take this information in about her. Because the real thing about all this stuff, you want to get the information about her. If all your memories were erased, what kind of person would you be? See, that's a deep one. So think about it as two in conversation, bro. You're creating the quiet moments. Sometimes conversation can dry out, and y'all both can kind of be sitting there like we don't know what to talk about. By asking these questions whenever it does get dry, you're filling up that void of something that she's going to be thinking about. Okay, damn, how I want to answer this. Give me a moment. No problem, cool. And by you asking her too, you want to kind of express yourself. Be a man of expression and knowing how to articulate and communicate. She can be like, wow, this guy knows how to talk, and he asked a question, he answered. Okay, damn, let me pick up my frequency. This is the day. I like this. It's gonna wake up, bro. You know what I'm saying? So these some cold, this is a cold booklet right here to get real tuned within with understanding who somebody is that's in front of you or around you, and you can have a dope conversation. It ain't got to be about business or anything. This is just some key things about life. You know what I'm saying? So I hope this booklet breakdown actually helped you realize how powerful this booklet is. And of course, you have access to it. Why not use it? And you'll be surprised how everything changes around you. And you being able to see somebody change and flip up of revealing themselves comfortably, respectfully, and appreciative of you allowing her the opportunity to be herself with you. It's crazy, ain't it?